another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, won't be as simple for you.
Yo, guys, Old Man G here, back again for another weekly Q&A. You know, I always really enjoy this, guys. So the turnout's been great the last couple of weeks. And there is actually a lot to talk about. But before we get into it, if you are new to the channel, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, X, smash that notification button for the latest news and more, actually, because we'll be doing a lot of coverage over the next couple of weeks, seeing as obviously the Premier League is going to be starting soon. It's going to be starting this Friday, actually. So we're literally, only less than 48 hours away. So which is mad, which is absolutely mad. Big up Eddie in the comments, by the way, man. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, it is mad that the Premier League is starting on Friday, and the Liga and Serie A are going to be starting soon as well. So thanks everyone, really appreciate it. Antonio, man, shout out to him on them, brothers. We're hating Milan, but look at us now, Scudetto winners, baby. And shout out to Blizz Kids. Thank you so much for watching on Facebook. I really appreciate it. And shout out Soda. Hope you're doing well, man. So yeah, this is obviously a weekly Q. I'm going to be obviously discussing a few things. You probably see it in the title. The title about Ten Hag versus Ronaldo, Cucurella, Sesko, and more. So there is a lot. You know, I'm basically going to be going through Fabrizio Romano's Twitter feed, basically, because there is quite a bit that's going on. I think, even though I'd like to start with Manchester United, I think it's probably fair to talk about the recent sort of Cucurella situation, what's going on with that, and so forth. Gibra says, big up RDS. Thank you for joining, bro. RDS, you know us for the season. Well, I'm talking about Cucurella, but obviously, so I'll get the Fabrizio feed up. But obviously, please get your questions in. I will answer them. This is a Q&A. It's also like latest news and stuff like that. So, but it's definitely a Q&A as well. So, obviously want to answer your questions. So I'm going to answer this from Antonio. Yes, to answer your questions, yes, I am definitely very nervous for the season ahead. If I'm honest, I don't really know, and I'm probably going to post a Twitter post on it at some point. I'm not entirely sure when, but if I'm honest, I'm very I don't really know where a lot of United fans are getting the optimism from. Maybe it's because it's the new manager. I get that. But for me personally, I just don't know. I don't know where the optimism is coming from. I don't, because I look at the squad and I look at the fact that this is squad. If you look at we're playing Brighton last year, the Brighton team who we got pummeled, I think 4-0, right? Last time. And since then, we've lost Pogba, we lost Matic, we lost Mata, we've lost Lingard, we lost Cavani. So we lost 5 players that were part of the first team, for better or for worse. And with those 5 players, possibly 6, I think. I mean, if I'm sure I'm missing somebody, we've replaced those players with 3. Okay, we've replaced those players with 3 players. Ericsson in a number 10 role. Okay, fine. You could make replacements for Mata. Fine, whatever. Squad player. Malacia, left back. Okay, Telles was not so great. He's gone on to Sevilla. We'll talk about that as well. But again, do we need that? Not really a replacement for anybody. We had to move Telles out. Centre back, we're stacked. Although fair enough, I know Lissandro Martinez is a ball maker. So the actual areas of replacement, a striker in Cavani, two midfielders, a forward, that hasn't been replaced. So the bulk of the squad is still fairly similar to the team that lost midfield wise, defensive wise, etc. to the team that lost 4-0 to Brighton. So based on that reality, why would I be enthusiastic for the upcoming season? And not only that, but Ten Hag obviously hasn't had time with a lot of his players, and yes, he's had a preseason. I think that's good, but is that enough with the recruitment you had for him to have a successful season? I personally don't think so. I know I'm not rambling, but I don't know, bro. I just think that I just don't get where the optimism is coming in for the season going forward. I don't know what it's based on, because I've not forgotten Van Gaal's, maybe because I'm slightly older, but I've not forgotten Van Gaal's excellent preseason. Pierre was the sort of preseason Perlo, and then it all went to shambles. The football wasn't great. Things disintegrated there. I haven't forgotten last season where people are now people I'm seeing, because fair enough. I'm not Ronaldo. At this point I don't care, like sell him whatever, but I am cautious that once again the distraction of okay, Ronaldo's doing this and he was a disruption. Okay, fine, cool, and then Ollie. So scapegoats. Right. If we get rid of those people, then suddenly everything will be fine. It'll all be okay. It'll be fine. I'm not gonna buy that. I'm not gonna buy the lack of investment. So on, if that makes sense, Antonio. Shout out to Zach who's watching Twitch, man. Yo, what's up? And should United fans basically aim for top 4 and win the Europa League? No. Top 4, I would say, is this current squad for me, unless Eriksen and Sandro Martinez and Malacia just ball, and even then, it's not the midfield. I think that looking at how everyone else has improved, you've got to say, I will say fifth and Europa League is reasonable to aim. If we get top 4 and Europa League, even better. So, but for me, fifth is probably the best in my personal opinion. That's what I think anyway. So, but thank you for the questions, man. I appreciate it. So Marc Cucurella to Chelsea. So obviously, with some of the latest news, we can see that at least Fabrizio anyway tweeted Marc Cucurella to Chelsea. Here we go, full agreement. And suddenly Chelsea fans are thinking, yes, we've got a signing. It's all good. And then not too long after this, Brighton tweeted saying there was no official agreement confirmed as of yet. Now, the first part of me thinks, okay, Fabrizio has taken a bit of an L here, maybe prematurely confirming the agreement that the deal was done. But the other part of me says that I think that, and if we scroll down to the been told Chelsea have a buyback clause in Levi Collier deal with Brighton. This is the point of negotiation. This is a key point of negotiation now set to be complete. So I think, in fairness to Fabrizio, though people trolling now, I suspect that it is this part that's been negotiated that's holding up the deal with Cucurella. I still assume that Cucurella is probably going to go to Chelsea. So it was a bit weird that the Brighton admin team sort of tweeted it out and said, "Oh, it's not been agreed." I suspect that this is the reason why it's not been agreed, and Cucurella will still go to Chelsea. But if he doesn't, and worse yet, Barcelona come and hijack, man, that's a massive L. A massive L on Chelsea's part, to be quite frank. I don't think it will happen, but we'll see. Chelsea have taken far too many L's this transfer window for it to end like this, in my personal opinion. Look at your comments again. Solo, shout to you, bro. I only want to see a starter play 90 United this season because a lot of work is still needed. Exactly. Ten Hag will be, I think, is a good coach, and I think you'll certainly see his philosophy. I mean, to be fair, I saw when I looked at Ralph Ragnick, I knew the philosophy that Ralph Ragnick wanted to play. You know, I knew what the philosophy that he wanted to play. It wasn't when I saw it when initially the first few games, I was like, I can see what Ralph wants to. I can see what he wants to implement. The problem was that and this is the key thing that I want to stress, Solo, is that it's one thing to have a style of play. It's one thing to have the players to implement that. This is the whole thing with style of play, is that you have coaches that like Pep who have a style of play and need to get players and get backing to get players that fit that and release the ones that do. And you have coaches that so right. Listen, I've got a bunch of players. I've got to just kind of make it work to achieve a particular objective. Those are your Sam Allardyce's, for example, potentially Marine. Well, maybe not Marines, but definitely Sam Allardyce's. Players that make things, managers that have to just make things work. And the reality is that Ralph, for example, this season had a style to play, but afterwards he just had to make it work because that was just the nature of the game, unfortunately. You know, so and it is what it is. Zach, yeah, if we get top 4 in the European League, I consider that a good season as all the big six are very good at the moment. Exactly, I agree. Another L for Chelsea. H is the jinx. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I think that I do think that if I do think that it would be a big problem if Chelsea if I would a very big problem if Chelsea didn't get this deal and it was somehow hijacked by Barcelona. I mean, the way I see this working is because I'm hearing rumors, reports that Barca in the mix and Bernardo Silva, etc. And if City, I think what people aren't talking about is if City, for example, lose Bernardo Silva and don't get Cucurella, I think that would be a massive L on City's part. That's what say, bro. Okay, City are going to have to take City are going to have to take the L. City might have to take a massive L, going forward. Now, so that's one way it could work. It could fall apart. The other way it could fall apart is if by the way, does anyone want to say? Oh yeah, does anyone? Let me put some background. I know some masses. Let me. I'm gonna put some tunes on. I wonder if people. Let me see. Let me know what you think of this. It's in the background, actually. I should try this actually. I can't hear it. Let me know your thoughts are on it. So, or which one you prefer. I've got a few beats here. Musical RDS. Or the other alternative is that Chelsea obviously take the L's here. City, I don't think City are going to meet the valuation anyway. So at the end of the day, worst comes to worst is that if Chelsea hold this L, he either stays at Brighton or maybe potentially Barcelona swoop in. Hence the rumors. I don't know. Zach says I like the first one. The first one was that this one? Let me go back. This one here, was it that one? Says I like the first one. United have a lot of deadwood still. Yes, I agree. Definitely, but I feel a style of play and a good structure we can work on play consistency. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Does Bernardo want to join Barca? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that for any maybe Spanish, Portuguese, Brazilian, sort of like playing for Real Madrid, you can't underestimate the pull that Real Madrid and Barcelona have. If Barcelona and Real Madrid come calling, you come knocking. We've literally seen that this summer. The exception was Mbappe, but Mbappe, whatever people say, Mbappe is a Parisian, so it was always going to be difficult. But had Mbappe been, if Real Madrid and Barcelona come knocking on Neymar's door and it's an easy swap, Neymar will leave, for example. Mbappe is another thing entirely. There'll be a lot of inconsistency in their performances as even front of Man United, and De Jong going to CFC will be a big L for United. If that happens, I'm still not entirely sure whether that's going to be the case. But if that happens, yeah, I can, and maybe we'll talk about it. We'll talk about as well. So, so that's the Cucurella thing to one side. I think we'll just keep that as a work in progress. I think again, scrolling through Fabrizio's page, I think one of the other things that I wanted to briefly discuss from a Manchester United perspective. Let's have a look. We'll talk about Alex Telles in a second. So, but it's this suddenly this interest in Benjamin Sesko. Now, I'm going to be quite honest. I haven't really watched Leipzig a lot. Massey says you mean Mbappe. Well, yeah, Mbappe. I must be honest. I didn't really watch Leipzig a lot last season. Sorry, something. I didn't watch. Yeah, I didn't watch. So, if I'm honest, I don't really know that much about this player, and I'd love to get an RP Leipzig fan, maybe Michael, someone to give like a breakdown of this player, so we can sort of really know a bit more about him. But yeah, I don't know. I just. Is he worth the amount that Leipzig are gonna spend to him? I think that's the key that I'm thinking about. Is he? I don't know. I don't know if I'm perfectly honest. Sorry, Salzburg. My bad. Salzburg. I made the, Red Bull are buying everything now. That like it means that it's going everywhere. Sorry, and also I'm half asleep, so. Is Anthony coming or not? I think Anthony is done. I think that Ajax want way too much, and we haven't sold enough players. Telles is going out on loan. We could, like, the amount of players that don't want to be at Manchester United that we could have sold, but unfortunately their wages is the issue. And if you look at the likes of Henderson and Telles have both gone on loan, for example. Henderson's comments is probably something that might comment that we can even talk about as well. That's another thing. But when you look at it, we're still paying a substantial amount of the players' wages. United are paying for the fact that they pay too high wages. We could, if we didn't have that, we could sell Telles, we could sell Wan-Bissaka, we could sell Henderson, and you could actually make the money to buy an Anthony, for example, but we're not doing that. We can't. The only player sell we've done this summer is Andres Pereira to Fulham for about 10 million or something. And then 2 loan deals, which have somewhat reduced the wage bill at least a little bit. Not by much. If we're gonna keep it a stack. Remember, guys, if you're new, like the video and subscribe. Make sure that you interact, engage. It helps the algorithm. On top of that, make sure that you follow us on Twitch and subscribe to my second channel, Red Devil Studio Extras, where there's Red Marvel, Entertainment Red Marvel, and clips on Red Devil Studio. So please get involved with that. I really appreciate it. I might pin the thing in the chat actually at some point. Shout out to Ant as well, man. Hope he's doing well, buddy. He looks good against Liverpool in the friendly. I haven't seen him other than that. Exactly. 50 million, okay, is reasonable, I think. As long as it's not above 50 million euros, I think that's reasonable. I think that's reasonable, especially I guess ever since obviously it's a different league. It's the Bundesliga, so but I guess I'm still getting scarred by the Timo Werner situation. But I think for 40 million, pounds, 50 million equivalent, it's probably worth a scout. I can send a scout report link. Yeah, that'll be good. Thank you, Smassy. Sesko on the treble in FM, so he has to be good. Yeah, Football Manager, of course. And shout out to Chainsaw Man Chat. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. Appreciate it, buddy. So obviously, according to Fabrizio here, clearly Manchester United. Manchester United are being touted as one of the clubs, but clearly, this says that Chelsea also had a meeting. Brains of Chelsea are in for him, and apparently there's also another club in the race. We don't know what club that is. Could it be Barcelona? I don't think so. but there are others. And I think this is the big problem with Manchester United, as we know and as we said this whole summer, is that at the end of the day, if you have if you are competing with a team that has Champions League football, it's going to be that team that is going to win overall. It's as simple as that. If Frankie de Jong does, God forbid, go to Chelsea, it'll be because Chelsea offering Champions League football and not Manchester United. It is what it is. Watching the boys in the kingdom. Oh, what is that? What is that? Also, why is Cucurella 50 mil? I feel like no one was talking about him last season or even watching him. That is true, although I did see that goal. Sorry, guys. I had a long day at work, so I'm somewhat tired, but I'm committed to this week. Week play. It might not be particularly long this week. I guess it depends on how many people be watching, how many questions you guys have. So, but let me know. So I might get an early night sleep. We'll see. We'll see how we react into it. Tell me what we talk about. Also, why is good? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is the nature of things. Was anyone talking about Sesko really last season? Now, you know, this is the nature of football and transfer hype and transfer media and all the rest of it. Is that a player goes from being okay, but because of generated interest and also scarcity, their valuation goes up just like that. That's just the nature of things, Zach. Big up RDS and Mike. Thank you very much, buddy. I think make sure you subscribe to Mike's channel, by the way. I think taking a shot on 19-year-old that can still be developed and some violated is good. Yeah, no, I agree. Especially for 40 million, you know, it's possible that he could easily that number could be doubled, possibly even tripled if he goes world class, you know. So I think taking sort of 40 million pounds sterling, 50 million euros is a reasonable shout as well. I don't see it. My only thing with this situation is that I just think that Chelsea are, you know, if United can always probably offer more wages, but Chelsea can offer CL football, and the question is, you know, will he prefer to go Chelsea before to go to London? That remains to be seen. Apparently, some even bigger news for Chelsea tomorrow. What's that, Mike? Do tell. Some bigger news for Chelsea tomorrow. Do tell. What is that? What is that? Because where's that coming from? Where's the source? Some big news for Chelsea? Is that regarding Cucurella, or who they're going for, or is it Frankie de Jong? I'm trying to see if there's anything on Fabrizio Romano's page. I'll just refresh it. You know, if I'm having to guess, if there's been big news around Chelsea, it's presumably got to be maybe Frankie de Jong if it's not based on Cucurella. Or I'm hearing things about apparently Thiago Silva and stuff. I'm not entirely sure. That's what I'm hearing anyway. Yep. I'm gonna just continue scrolling down. Oh yeah, we'll talk about Oscar for a second, man. This guy was. I'll be talking about. Shout out to Roy, man. What up, G? I read Ten Hag's regarding CL saying, what do you make out of it? So I've already spoken up about it. Yeah, it's fine. I've not actually. And in fact, let me scroll because I'm sure Fabrizio posted something about this earlier today. So I'll go to it. So says Alex Teller's going. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alex Teller's going. Maybe cheating Ronaldo. Yeah. So here it is here. Erik Ten Hag, Ronaldo played and other. And this is the key thing. Erik Ten Hag and other Man United players leading Old Trafford early versus Real. So this is the key thing I think it's important to highlight. That it wasn't just Ronaldo, although he's getting the press because obviously he sells papers. But in fairness to Ronaldo, it wasn't just him. And he says, I don't certainly accept this. I think it's unacceptable for everyone. Tells us we are a team and you have to stay until the end, Ten Hag says. So, oh, geez, sorry, guys. Man, I don't know where this tiredness is coming from. What are my comments on that, Roy? Ten Hag is boss, bro. Ten Hag is the manager. And assuming this is because, I mean, again, this is the problem with quotes. What's the context? What was the question? What was being said? So I always think it's a bit dangerous to just focus on quotes because you need to know what's the context of the quotes. Like on Ronaldo and something, and then you look at the quote that's come from, and it's like, what is your? The question might have been, what's your personal opinion on it leaving? and then it might miss out the fact that, oh, but I don't think it's like he might say, I don't think it's acceptable, but that maybe in part of the body it was like, but they'd already agreed with the club that it was okay, and I've got no problem with that, and that part was removed. So I'm always careful when it comes to quotations. That said, like I said, I'm a bit done of the Ronaldo saga, to be honest. If he wants to leave, he wants to leave. He can find a club. He can find a club. And of the toxic environment. My issue is predominantly the fact that it's becoming more of a distraction, and a distraction from the hiding the failures of Manchester United. So if anything goes wrong, Ronaldo stays, it'll be Ronaldo should have done this, Ronaldo should have. Ronaldo's the toxic dressing room. Ronaldo didn't score the goals. Ronaldo. Just like almost like Ollie. We all, like in United fans, it almost has to be. There's always like has to be a scapegoat, especially when you're thinking, right, the Glazers, were on their tails. We want better management leadership. It's like suddenly the distraction capital. People get distracted very easy as United fans, in my personal opinion. Let me do that. So yeah, hope that answers your question, Roy. And shout out to you, Roy. Hopefully next week we will rendezvous about the Syria preview. So stay tuned for that, guys. Let's have a look. What's this? Yeah, a big club comes in with someone to become a great player. Yeah, exactly. CR7. Yes, CR7 to Chelsea is a possible announcement for Chelsea. That's it. But I think it's Fofana or Frank doing that. Exactly. Or Cucurella. Fofana. But I mean, Fofana would be 80 million though. Leicester. I don't think Leicester would sell Fofana for any more than 80 million. So, I guess the way I see it is that if it's going to be either Frankie De Jong or Fofana, both going to cost 80 million, and no more, no less. That's the reality of it. So it'll be interesting to see which one is the case. Oscar, biggest disappointment, man. Yeah, I mean, let me go back to this boy, this flop, man. Just briefly, because I did think it was a bit funny. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, Flamingo have open talks signed form choice Oscar from Shanghai. So he's obviously playing in China, playing for Shanghai SIPG. D didn't go to a gentleman free. Oscar open to move while talks still ongoing. So Flamingo, obviously, Brazilian team, and obviously they've confirmed it, and a deal is set. It's interesting though. Funny enough, it's weird. I mean, as a side note, the Chinese Super League, I actually watched it when it was on TV a few years back, and it was actually pretty good. It was a lot more interesting and fast paced to watch than the MLS, which was a lot slower. But it's just weird because there was a period when, like, in order to promote the Chinese Super League and for it to try and be a global competition to compete, China was just buying all these players and just offering them ridiculous sums of money and just tons of foreign players. And then in the last, and I don't know whether maybe, and I don't want to, get too political, but I don't know if in relation to a political situation, that almost, at least the impression I get is that it seems to reversed. So now it's like, no, we now have to limit the amount of, foreign players that go to China. I think it's something like 3 per team or something like that, which is ridiculous. And the amount of money that all these teams are spending on tour players has been capped. And even I think the promotion, from what I can see anyway of the league, has sort of been reduced. So it's a very bit strange, because I did think it had potential to potentially push and develop Chinese domestic football as well, because when you develop domestic game, the international game follows suit. But it's just very strange. It's almost seemed to sort of been it's just disappeared, really, and it's a shame, because at the end of the day, the way I sort of see it is that if you want league to be successful, you have to attract the best talent globally. And that's a combination of developing the talent within your own country, fair enough, but it's also about attracting the best talent globally as well. And that combination of both gives you the best football. That's why the top 3 leagues, aside from Manchester, that's why they go, because their fundamental policies are homegrown combined with global talent with obviously investment. That's right now the model of football. So yeah, that's my 2 cents there. Yeah, how do you feel about Dean Henderson's interview? Interesting, right? How do I feel about Dean Henderson? Let me just go back up here. Good old fabrizio. How do I feel about Dean Henderson? How do I feel about Dean Henderson? Okay. I'll give you my 2 cents. There are a lot of people that say that, he's arrogant and he shouldn't be #1 and she hold the bench, etc., 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 and all these different things. And how does he think he can play 1-on-1, etc.? I get that. I don't think that the whole kind of no one's big in the club, blah blah blah. I get that. But I also get it from the fans' perspective, but I also get it from the players' perspective, in that we also have to understand that football players do not have long careers. They do not have long playing careers. So if you're told by a manager and a coaching staff, hey, look, you are going to be #1 for next season. You are going to be the #1. Now, he got COVID. Now, at least from my understanding, that was the initial plan. Then he got COVID and was out for, maybe, was it 2 weeks, I think, possibly. And then it just wasn't brought up again. So a part of me was like, it's a bit sneaky for you to say, if assuming this is true, obviously, authenticated, hey, because we're not heard from the other side of Ollie, etc., and the coaching staff, hey, we want you to be goal #1. This is how we're going to do it. Blah blah blah. We want to keep you, because bear in mind, I mean, and this is the key thing. This is why I don't really blame Henderson a lot for it, because it's like, it's not like Henderson was saying, I want to leave. All Henderson was just saying is, listen, I just want to get, for my own development, for my own professional development, I just want to, if you're not going to play me, that's fine. At least let me go out on loan. Okay, I don't want to hold bench. So at the very least, let me go back on loan to, Sheffield, Nottingham, whatever. And that'd been fine. Personally, for me, I think what United should have done is said, we brought him back on loan to Sheffield or Nottingham, another club, and put a buy option in it. That way, if it works, you've got a top goalkeeper, he has a good season, and then potentially maybe other top mid-table to top clubs might be like, we want to hijack the deal, and suddenly you have a goalkeeper who goes to maybe, say, 30 million, and you made 30 million. That's what United should have done. Instead, what United did was promise someone, hey, yeah, no, you're going to be #1, don't worry about it, it's fine, go for it, etc., etc., only to be told when he's come back from COVID, nothing, you're on the bench, whatever. And so, of course, you're going to be furious, and of course you're going to be mad. Of course it's going to cause dressing room issues. Of course that's going to happen. It would happen to anybody. So, I can understand Dean Henderson's frustration. And like I said, even with this move to Nottingham Forest, I think it is, I understand why they haven't put a buy. Like, the way that Manchester United, and in fairness, Solskjaer and the coach team handled the goalkeeping situation was, to be honest, was absolutely disgraceful. I even go back to how they handled Romero. It was like, bro, okay, so how you doing it? Romero was the Europa League goalkeeper, and then what you do is, in the semi-final, like, right, get out. I'm gonna now bring in De Gea in. Semi-finals, likewise. Personally, I think we would. That was one season. I remember De Gea was bad. De Gea was really, really bad. He hadn't come. He was okay last season, but that season was bad. And it was like, I can't see a difference between him and Romero. Romero's probably even better. So the disrespect, and then obviously he's just gone and then just let alone, and obviously was bad. I don't know why we disrespect our goalkeepers like that. I don't really get it. I don't know why we do it. But Tom Heaton's now in. Okay, he's happy at his age to be second backup. That's cool. We need a third keeper. I think Lee Grant left, I think. So we need a third goalkeeper somehow. But this is as far as I'm aware, unless Lee Grant is still at the club. But I think he might have left. So I don't know, guys. But what I do know is that when you have poor mismanagement and poor communication, bad things happen. That's basically my thoughts on the matter ultimately. That's so deep on the youngsters playing and then seeing Ronaldo leaving. Yeah. I don't disagree. Mark Goldbridge is a clown. I'm not even sure what's going on about. If I'm honest, Matt, I don't really care because again, I just see that the whole thing is all distraction. Because the season is coming up, and we're hearing about Ronaldo and Goldbridge, and all these different sorts of things. And at the end of the day, someone still needs to convince me how Manchester United are not going to hold an L to Brighton when with more or less the same squad when it was 4-0. Someone needs to explain that how that's going to happen. Oh, no. Oh, I hear. Oh, no. Yes, it was one season, but it can't be. There'll be an improvement. It can't be. Okay, well, based on what though? What's it based on? What's it based on? What's it based on? So there you go. Roy said he did that once with Juve when Sarri subbed him out during a Fabrizio game. Never seen him earlier, and it was a big story in Italy for days. Very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So, this was a friendly. But the fact that Ronaldo did it when Sarri subbed him during the Serie A game, it's difficult to, I'll be honest, it's difficult to respect someone who did it because it's like, it's your own ego. I always compare Ronaldo to Zlatan sometimes. Whatever you say about Zlatan, his cockiness, etc., he's still there for the team. That's why you have a warrior at AC Milan. You have a warrior, someone who, is there. I don't mind a year contract, whatever. I'm going to be there. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to support the team. Ronaldo, in an ideal world, Ronaldo would have been like Zlatan and said, "Listen, I'm back. I'm in the twilight of my career. I'm back to Manchester United." Okay, some humility, bro. I'm back. You know what? At the end of the day, what I could do, Manchester United, they always love me. I always had the support here. You know what I'm going to do? Forget about Champions League, Messi records, etc. I'm going to try and do what I can to help the team, whether that's in the training, in the fields, behind the stages, etc. And I'm going to be a servant, as it were, especially given my high wages, to Manchester United. Going forward, that's what I'm going to do. In any way, see what I feel, and by doing that, okay, maybe I can have like a year extension, negotiate a year, and so on and so on and so forth, based on my contribution to the team, and then maybe if he wants to go to the MLS, or if he wants to go back to Sporting, or if he wants to go into coaching, you've got that transition there. Simple, and then your legacy is intact. Now it's like, are Old Trafford fans going to boo Ronaldo? Who knows? I don't know. I can't answer that question. Almost 20 people watching, guys. Make sure you like the video, and subscribe. So I still want to be growing this community. So make sure as well that you head over and subscribe to Red Devil Studio Extra. I will post the link in the chat. Please head over and subscribe to it. It's a new channel created with clips. So with the new season starting, I'll be posting my instant match. So usually I do instant match reaction on this one, but I'll be doing slightly longer post-match reactions on here. But my instant 30-second match reactions to most matches will be on Red Devil Studio Extra. So make sure you subscribe to Red Devil Studio Extra. I'll be posting those. It's literally just a shorts and highlights channel. Nothing more, nothing less. And obviously, if you wanted some entertainment, Red Marvel's there, and some entertainment podcasts will be going, I think, at the end of this week, regarding the decline of the MCU. So let me know your thoughts on that. Let me look at. So Antonio says, "Hey Roy, get back to work." Not to defend him, but why, Sam? It's just okay. Anti I'm biased here too. Who are United getting if De Jong goes to CFC? Potentially Ruben Neves. That's possibly a thing. Possibly. Guys, Roy doesn't think De Bruyne. Guys, Roy doesn't think De Bruyne is one of the best midfielders in the world right now. I mean, there are a lot. I mean, if you ask certain people, they will echo that. Certainly, I know HH doesn't think so. HG, which Man United players do you think will step up this year and grow into top superstars? None, Roy. I mean, okay, that's a harsh. Possibly Sancho. Yeah, that's about it. Possibly Sancho. Everyone else, Lisandro Martinez and Tyrell, the new signings are variables. Everyone really knows about Eriksen as such, really. And the other squad, they've been under multiple different managers. If they're not superstars yet, they're not going to be. I don't imagine Luke Shaw. They might play a bit better, but of that level to be world class, I don't think so. They've had too many managers and too much time, and when you get into your kind of mid to late 30s, you begin to, I won't say become set in your ways, but you become less amenable to new things and teaching, especially when you hit 30. You're on your kind of way there from 25, but you're not right there. You're still kind of open to that type of stuff. So I think in my personal opinion, that's a bit of a problem. Let's have a look. Are we just going to scream for later? RS, you're welcome to come by, but yeah, I would, but after this stream, I'm going to bed. For some reason, even doing this, I'm like, I am so tired. I'm exhausted. What is going on? But keep it coming soon, because like I said, I do love these Q&As. I really do. What's up? Shout out to Sanchez. Simon, hope you're doing well, buddy. The news about King Ziyech now being priority target for Manchester United is true. Wait, what? Where is that coming from? Didn't he? What? Where is that coming from? I know a few Man City fans saying that it's daylight robbery for the for Cucurella for 50 million. So fair enough. Wait, where is this? Just let me have a look. Yeah, good. Yeah, someone said people need. I'm seeing as well. People need to relax on Fabrizio, man. Like this is. See, one of the reasons I don't like about football Twitter, right? So like, whatever you say about Fabrizio, even if he got this particular thing wrong or whatever, it's like, why is it that we, and this is my own personal take, but it's just like, we always talk about how the media is, manipulative and does this and about truth and all the rest of it. But then when we find someone that at least attempts or tries to establish a degree of truth or holds a certain standard of truth and reliability, when he gets it wrong, or he or she gets it wrong, we tear them down. So it's weird because in a way, a lot of people complain about the media, and I'm talking in general here with society and what have you, about misinformation, different information, toxicity, etc., and then fuel it by doing the same thing that they accuse the very media of doing, and then wonder why it's a kind of a circle loop. When I said sorry, just because I was scrolling on Twitter, I was like, I'm trying to find this. I'm hearing all this stuff. So yeah, I mean Ziyech. I mean, I wouldn't mind Ziyech if I'm honest. I wouldn't mind Ziyech. I guess he's worked with Ten Hag before. You're at this point where Ten Hag now has Frankie de Jong, potentially Lisandro Martinez, Van der Beek, and Hakim Ziyech, who he's worked with before. You know what I mean? So possibly. I don't know. RDS, hope you're doing well, man. A random question is, who is your favorite youngster now in terms of talent? I'm a big fan of Simakan, Musiala, and Yaxin Aldi. Yeah, youngsters wise, I'm And I'm saying I'm going to define youngster as like less than like 19. Musiala, I definitely like the look of. Who else? I actually like underrated. I really like this. I assume he's still quite young, or maybe I could be wrong. But the sort of Brighton right back, I've forgotten his name now. I keep forgetting his name. But I really like the look of him, and I don't. And he's criminally underrated. He has some injury problems, but he's looking good. And then you got people like Pedri, for example, who I think has massive potential as well. Those are kind of the three youngsters in my mind. At least that come to my mind anyway. I should watch more of Yaxi and Aldi though. I definitely should. Let's have a look. RDX thoughts on Benacour. In short, because I've watched him a bit, but I won't say I'm an expert. Solid player, but I think at times can be overhyped. Let me disagree. Shout out to Damon, man. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Do you like the Renato Sanchez to PSG move? It's a bit weird, if I'm honest. In fact, I'm quite surprised that PSG let Idrissa Gueye go, considering that I think he was probably their best defensive midfielder. That surprised me. Renato Sanchez just seems to be going from different clubs. I mean, is he that? I've never really rated the dude. I'm sorry. It could work. PSG will win the league regardless. Let's keep it a stack. But I don't know. It's a bit weird. If I'm honest, it's a very weird. I'm not saying it's a bad deal, but I just think that he's not really set the house on fire. If that makes any sense. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that I don't know. I don't get the Idrissa Gueye sale. I don't get that. Right. So I'm just gonna pin the yeah. So you'll probably see it in the chat. It's been pinned. That's to my second channel, the Red Devil Studio Extra. So make sure you subscribe to that, guys. Really appreciate it. So look, how do you directly reply to people in YouTube? Oh, sorry, that's it. Mark Goldbridge said Ten Hag didn't mind Ronaldo leaving during the game. To be fair, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I think he's, from what I read, I'm understanding the beef. He said he didn't mind it because his sources said that, and then it came out saying that Ten Hag did, and it's a bit of confusion. I'll leave it at that. Like I said, for me, I just see this all distraction at some time. Shane says it'll be 3-0 Brighton win, improving from Ten Hag. Chainsaw, as you know, Liverpool going for the quad. Shout out to Matthew saying evening RDS. Thank you, man. Ronaldo's bigger than United. GG Centre. Well, that's a bit harsh, man. Ronaldo's bigger than Manchester United. As a brand in football, even that is a bit of a challenge because Manchester United are quite a big brand, and Ronaldo is linked to or part of that brand. So I'm not entirely sure. But you know, I personally, as a traditionalist, don't think any place should be bigger than any club they're part of. At the end of the day, when you get when you're paid, when you get that amount of wages, you are, in my opinion, like a servant to that club. That's just the way that I see it anyway. Big up, guys. Thank you. Shout out to SMB in the chat as well. A lot of people in the chat, man. So I'm just getting to everyone's comments. Let's have, come on, a lot of I'm going through them because this is a Q&A. Keep your questions coming in, guys. I appreciate it. RDS, I know I'm taking some time getting them, so there might be a bit of delay. But bear with me. I am getting through your questions. So, RDS, what team are you most looking forward to watching this week? You mean in the Premier League? I'm looking forward to seeing Nottingham Forest. They've made quite a few signings. They've got certainly an interesting style of football. although they've replaced a lot of their teams. I'm interested to see how they'll play. And also Conte, given his signings, I'm interested to see how they will, how he'll line up and how they'll affect his team. So those are probably the two teams that I would say that I'm looking forward to the most. United need a good start to the season. I don't think that's going to happen to Massive. Well, we'll see. They do. I agree with you. They do. Whether they will, that's another matter. So they do. You know, it's like someone said that once, like, do you deal in shoulds or ises? So what is versus what should be? You know, what is versus what should be. So what should be is, you're absolutely right. What is, that's another matter. That's another matter entirely. Unfortunately. Let's have a look. Oh, Sancho. That's probably in relation to which team, what player might end up being world class. And that's to say, I think Sancho possibly. What will happen with Rashford? I've got no idea. I still think Rashford is recovering from his injury, but we'll see. I don't get the impression Ten Hag rates him, but I do get the impression that it'll be interesting to see how we play with, because I think Ten Hag is going to go with Martial as the number 9, Sancho at right, and Rashford at the left. We'll see whether that works. What happened to the youngster that scores against Milan in UPL? Oh, Ahmad. Ahmad is still around. He went to Rangers, but it didn't really work out, to be honest. He looks like he's part of the squad, so Ahmad is definitely around. I assume if we don't sign any forwards, he'll be back up to Sancho. Because I'm looking at the front three and thinking, okay, you've got Martial, Sancho, and Rashford. Who are the backup forwards? Well, it has to be Ronaldo in the number 9, or he starts. Elanga on the left, and then Ahmad on the right. That's it. It's got to be. You know, unless you're going to play maybe Eriksen on the left, or Bruno sometimes. They used to play Pogba there. Pogba's no longer there. But in terms of outright forwards, the backups for left back, if Martial, Rashford, and the reality is that Martial's probably going to get injured at some point. I'm sorry, but he is. He's very injury prone. So Martial will get injured, in which case, Ronaldo, for all the people saying Ronaldo will leave, Ronaldo will start. You know, Ronaldo should even, like, again, I'm not pro or pre Ronaldo, whatever it is, but I'm trying to speak, I'm trying to speak reality, guys. I'm trying to be realistic. I'm not trying to be a hype merchant or whatever. I'm trying to be realistic. And the reality is that when you look at the history, Martial is injury prone. Pogba now is also being injury prone. You know, there are a lot of there are actually single players that are picking up injuries quite infrequently. Even Lindelof, Maguire, McTominay are picking up injuries. So, based on that reality, you need to plan for contingency. Ronaldo, whatever you say about him, is not as injury prone. So if Ronaldo leaves, we have a problem, because if Ronaldo leaves, Martial will get injured potentially within the first 2 or 3 weeks, and suddenly now, who do you have leading the line for Manchester United? This is what I'm talking about when I say I'm not optimistic, because all it takes is 1 or 2 or 3 injuries there, and like our squad depth is non-existent, and all it takes is a few injuries, and you're like, right, we're relying on kids, basically. So Ronaldo goes, Ronaldo, Martial. Okay, Martial gets injured. Now it's like, okay, well, now I have Rashford, Sancho. So now maybe Elanga comes in. So now Rashford plays number 9, who's not really good at it. And then if you want an impact off the bench, you're now relying on Ahmad. What top club does that? So that's my mini rant. Sorry, Roy. It's not at you, but that's the reality, man. That's the reality of the squad of Manchester United right now. Brian on their Twitter account said they haven't agreed to sell Cucurella. Exactly. There was an L there. VH Fox say, yeah, I want someone to try and verify. I mean, I know Fabrizio. I still use Fabrizio as a default, but I'm just wondering, are there any big accounts like Ornstein, Fabrizio, etc., that are confirming the Ziyech to United link. I mean, I guess I'd have no problem with it, given his work with Ten Hag before. But again, he's also injured, a little bit injury prone, and also older, and also it didn't really work out at Chelsea, so I'm not entirely sure about that. In my personal opinion. Yeah, I see Napoli agreeing a deal. I should probably speak about the Napoli manager's comments. In fact, Roy, Antonio, if you guys, Roy, Antonio, if you guys are still in the chat, what are your thoughts on the Napoli president's comments about African players? That was wild. That was a bit wild. You know, I sort of understand where it's coming from, and that, like, the idea of it's going to be every 2 years, disruption is not going to make me want to sign certain players, but you know, you got to say things certain ways these days. I'm interested to see what your thoughts are, guys. If this is like, okay. I know, okay, Jeremy Romero's been somewhat reliable, so I can't completely dismiss him. But if this happens, man, come on, man, no. Because if this does happen, if I know what this, I know you're talking about, but if this does actually happen, Barca are trolling at this point. If this actually happens, Barca are trolling at this point, because you're literally going, nope to Chelsea, nope. You steal Koundé, you take Cucurella, you re-sign Dembele. You know, it's no, man. I don't know. I think Barca are holding it. It's trolling, man. It's gotta be. Maybe. Dario Martinez has also been reported in Italy. Okay. Abba says, see everyone. Jamsa, that's how the world is, bro. They always cling on to when people get it. Yeah, you're right. That's relation to my thing about the media. Yeah, I'm getting a bit cynical in my old age. You know, at my old age, I'm still in my early 30s. You know, so but yeah. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm getting ready, quite cynical with things and stuff. So trying to be the hope optimist, but cynicism it's difficult to shake off, if I'm honest. Ajax reunited. Yep. Rashford is a youngster. No, he's not. Youngsters usually under 22. Lamptey. That's it. Yes, Lamptey. I keep on saying, if you want to right back, sign that dude. Sign Lamptey. You know, let Wan-Bissaka. What issue is let Wan-Bissaka go on loan to Brighton and we sign Lamptey or something like that. Lamptey for me, that's our right back. If United, if Ten Hag are watching this, Lamptey, please go for Lamptey, please. Thank you very much. Jesse Lingard is a great youngster. Shout out to Lingard. Shout out to Jesse Lingard. By the way, guys, if you want to support the channel, please consider please consider what I'm trying to say. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider either subscribing to the channel, contributing via super chat, or of course becoming a member of the channel to get exclusive membership streams, membership videos, icons, emojis, etc. It goes a long way. So I am hoping to get some new tech and new stuff for the World Cup. That's my sort of plan. My goal is, as I'm doing this content, I'm giving to you guys, and as I'm trying to put more effort into this, as well as regular streams, that I give you much more of a professional look when we come to cover a lot of the World Cup stuff come November. That's the goal. That's the aim. So your support would be greatly appreciated, even if it's just sharing the video. But some support would be really, especially because I'm still quite a small channel, by the way, guys. Marshall FC is back. Under 19 is it? Under 19 is a baby. Yeah. Pedri, Gavi. I'm not sure about Gavi, but Pedri, I would say. Camavinga will have a great season. Yeah, I think Camavinga will have a good season. Reina, yeah, I'm not sure about Reina. He might be okay, but I'm still convinced by him, to be honest. What's this? PSG replaced Ronaldo before Liverpool did. I don't count Thiago's and Ronaldo replacement because they're both the same age. I must suggest there's a lot of CR7 stuff. Renato Sanchez has worked with Garza before, if I'm not mistaken, and anything is not good on Danilo, Herrera, and Gay leaving for Chelsea. Okay, so Gates. So I understand. I understand. Maybe that's why Gates wants him. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, I mean, I get that Danilo and Herrera need to leave, but Gay, from what I watched PSG, Idrissa Gay was certainly a solid CDM. More so than I would argue Verratti is. I wonder who replaced him in that role. Personally, I just think that it exposes PSG's defense quite a bit. I could be wrong, but you know that attacking might potentially be exposed in the future. Who do you think will win the Champions League based on the situation today? Can Real Madrid do what they did again this season? Surely not. Surely not. Surely Real Madrid can't do what they did again this season. Surely not. But it's Real Madrid. So based on what they did last season, based on who they are, like I just cannot rule out Real Madrid. Like I don't know what it is. Like it's just like people say his face is like, do not underestimate Real Madrid. Don't do that. So if I'm honest, I'm gonna say Real Madrid because you should never underestimate those guys. If you're talking second and third to that, it'll be the standard. I would say, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if you had a repeat of the CL final this year, Real Madrid Liverpool. I won't be surprised. Would you? Would you be surprised? Because I'm still not 100% convinced about Nagelsmann with Bayern, even with Mane. They could do it, but I'm not 100% convinced. I still think Lewandowski will be a miss. City, Pep has this kind of stunting moment in the Champions League. And then who else really is there that can really sort of compete? Juve, no. PSG, I guess, could potentially if they figure themselves out. But I still think there's an issue there. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. If I'm honest, I wouldn't be surprised if you had a repeat of this CL final next year. Because Liverpool, whatever you say about Liverpool know how to do tournaments. That like, if it wasn't for their defense being completely destroyed, was it not this season, but the season before last, they probably would have might have won the title, or they might have actually gone on to go on and win the Champions League. So I take that as an outlier because they had like 6 defensive injuries, which is ridiculous. So based on this season, yeah, but we'll see. These questions. So these are good questions, by the way. RDS, should Pogba risk his career at the World Cup? I mean, to be honest, he would even get there. You know, he could potentially, if he starts playing for Juve at earlier than usual, he could potentially rule himself out completely. At the end of the day, the World Cup, I think, is one of the most. I don't think so, but I can see why a player would do it, because at the end of the World Cup only comes on 4 years, and it's probably the biggest. The World Cup is the biggest, most televised, most watched sporting competition in history, globally. It is. Billions of people watch the World Cup. So this is your opportunity to represent your country and to play in something that only comes on every 4 years. You're gonna take it. You're gonna take it. The last World Cup, France obviously won it. They want to be able to defend it. It is what it is. It is what it is. 5 trophies, actually. Relax, Chainsaw, relax. RDS, you agree that Juventus is a small club? No, can't. Although, what I would say about Juventus is that, yes, they won their domestic title a lot. They had dominance in that respect. But I do think it's a bit sketchy that they haven't won a Champions League in the 21st century. That, I think, is a little bit sketchy. For all the talk about Juventus being big, yeah, they're big because they've been. It's almost like City in a way. Like City are domestic. Juventus and City are domestic merchants. Sorry, I keep moving around. I apologize. They're domestic merchants. They've destroyed, they've done all these things. Cool. They're domestic merchants. But have they succeeded on the international stage? No, they have not. And at least with City, you can go, okay, well, maybe they only really started becoming a force from 2010 onwards. Juventus have been a force for a while, and they've not won a Champions League since 1999, I think? No, I don't think it was that even, So, no, I think it was even before that. So, yeah, that's a red flag on my account personally. People often say world class too often. I agree. Lie messenger. Arsenal versus Palace will be interesting. I do agree with that. I agree. It'll be interesting to see Vieira and his tactics as well as his team. I'm interested to see how Patrick Vieira does. How he does go against this. I like his style of football. I actually think he's a better coach than Arteta personally. It's just that for some reason, and he's got more experience. It's just that for some reason, Arteta they preferred and Vieira they did not. I don't really understand why to this day. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. Where's my juice? Got a bit of indigestion today. What are your thoughts on all single reports saying Chelsea and talk Barcelona and Lyon? Where does Manchester go from there if that was to happen? Well, to be honest, sorry guys, I'm being unprofessional. Sorry, but I'm laid back. That's it. It's just laid back. I'm laid back, so maybe I should be more professional. I don't know, but I'm just laid back. I'm comfortable. But yeah, in answer to your question, Para, at the end of the day, bro, I think United should have always had a plan B anyway for any player. If you want to execute your system, you're like, okay, we'll wait to get to the player. Well, you can't get the player. Okay, so what's your plan B? There should always be a plan B. I know you can't sign unnecessary players for whatever reason, but you should be scouting multiple targets at once. So you can't get plan A, you get plan B. And looking at things as they stand right now, I don't know what United's plan B is. It could be Ruben Neves, I don't know. But we need a plan B, and we need it quickly because the season's starting essentially in 2 days, and United have lost 2 midfielders and have yet to sign one, which is an absolute disgrace, but yet no one is talking about it. People are too busy fighting and talking about different things that they don't seem to just process the fact that we've lost 2 midfielders and we've not signed one. We've lost 2 forward players and we've not signed one. It just doesn't make sense to me. So, but yeah, there's optimism for the season. I don't understand that, but okay, fine. What will be your downtime during the season look like? You mean when I'm not doing football stuff? Probably Red Marvel related stuff, possibly. RDS, your thoughts on Kaká 2007? Kaká was beast, man. Kaká was absolute beast. Absolute beast, bro. He was. Ballon d'Or, because I mean he won the Ballon d'Or if I recall, 2007, if I'm correct. So my memory's not great, but I know he won the Ballon d'Or around that time. Easily world class. Certain people were saying that him and Hazard and a certain Kai Havertz were on the same level. Enough said. But yeah, no, phenomenal player. Is Roy Keane the best Manchester United captain ever? That's a massy. I think you probably have to, because if I recall, Sir Bobby Charlton was captain, and you can make an argument that he was also a solid captain, especially after what happened with the Munich tragedy. So there is that. Antonio's the Napoli president is the biggest scam in the league. He's the biggest boom as well. Oh dear. Funny. Very, very funny, these guys, man. Love Italy, man. Love Italians. I know not all Italians are like anything like that, so I never like to generalize. So I remember seeing a video of like the Nigerian guy that unfortunately got killed. And if I'm honest, when I saw that, I was really, really angry. I was like, what on earth? How could you do that in broad daylight? It was disgusting to see. But at the end of the day, you got to realize that that is not representative of Italian people, like, at all. Just like any country is. Most people are, decent human beings that want to live a good life. And unfortunately, there just happen to be people that don't want to do that. And do wicked things. So there you go. Napoli president comment on our quiz. How can you deny a player who wants to play? Yeah, that's the key thing, really. I mean, let's say, for example, the Euros. I mean, you have it already. You have the Conference League. This is the thing. People talk about, they're making it 2 years. Well, what happens is that you have the Conference League. You wait for you wait for conference or whatever it is. That happens. That exists. So there you go. Let's be honest, comments today from the president or something that an 80-year-old boom would say. Yeah, it's just dumb. It came on his face to comment. He has no filters. Essentially, he's complaining about African combinations and it being during the season. And yeah, like I said, it's I can sort of understand this point if it's over 2 years and disruption, but at the end of the day, it's like that's not the player's fault, though. So it's not. So I get it. But it's like, but what I say is like, it's not the player's fault, though. Like, it's not like it. So if you want to have that disagreement, you should respectfully write in private to CAF. The Federation of Africans, say, listen, we have complaints, we have issues, and write directly to them, as opposed to blame the players, which I didn't quite understand. Because what can the players do? Even European players, I know European players don't want to play Confederations Cup and Euro, and then champion, and all the different matches they're playing. Tony Kroos, for example, has been outspoken about the amount of matches that European player has to play. But it's like, well, shrug of the shoulders, So there you go. RDS thoughts on Charles de Katsuki next Kevin De Bruyne. Bro, I'm sorry, Antonio. I wish I could. I've not watched the guy. I've only seen a few clips on YouTube and he looks good. So, but I never like giving him my impressions. I've not really fully watched the guy for an extended period of time. So, but he looks okay. As long as United don't sign Heaven, yeah. We won't. Trust me, we won't. We definitely won't. Knowing Manchester's board, we definitely won't. Arsenal's first game of the season. Again, no, that's a good question. Yeah, they were actually. I'm tuning. Guy fouls too much, but he saw. Yeah, but that's what you need as a DM. You do need to make tactical fouls. Often time. That's what you need to do. Way to never people learn the hard way to never underestimate us. Juve will win it and beat Bayern in the final. I love the reverse jinx from Roy here. I love that. I think because me and Roy, we did a prediction last season, and I remember Roy and I said AC Milan were going to win it, and Roy was like, "Oh no! I think he predicted Juve to win it or Inter." I have a feeling it was Juve. And in retrospect, I'm like, see, Roy was developing what is known increasingly known in the football community as what we call a reverse jinx. So there's a jinx and there's a reverse jinx. And in reverse jinx, you deliberately say that the team that you don't want to win the league actually wins the league. And so Roy cleverly, tactically made a reverse jinx for Juventus to win the league season in the belief or hope that Milan would win it. And sure enough, Milan did win. I'm not good at that. But I'm somewhat good at predicting. So I'm a sort of a positive jinx, if that makes any sense. So I'm joining it. No worries, buddy. You're good. Man City, Real Madrid, or Liverpool, dark horse, Barca. Barca on a dark horse, man. Not with that defense. They're not a dark horse. Not with that DM. In Sergio Busquets, who basically, in my opinion, should have retired quite some time ago. I don't think Barca will win the Champions League. Their team is, it's not strong enough yet. You're relying on Dembele. The Dembele sign, okay, cool. He'll probably be injured out again. Lewandowski, is going to take some time just for a different league and different playing system when he's, constantly getting service, and that's, in the box. That's not necessarily going to happen at Barcelona. Who else did they sign? They signed Christensen, who was a flop at Chelsea. I'm not saying he'd be a flop at Barca, but you need to make sure about that. Frank Yul they've kept, potentially an unhappy player, potentially, not always, but potentially. And Rafinha, Leeds done well, I guess. So was he worth that price tag? Is he that good? I don't think so. So yeah, Barca dark horse. I'm not sure. Do you guys agree that the ref robbed us in the first Athletic game this year? 100%, 100%, 100%. I agree with that absolutely. Jabri, different type of question. How do you cope with times of stress, worry, walks, moves, etc.? Bro, that's a very good question, bro. And I want this chat. It's like I said, this is a Q&A, so it's not just football, but it's other questions as well. Maybe about life, about just anything, politics, etc. Like I said, if you want me to be honest, this is one of the ways that I've been able to deal with stress, worry, etc. Is this channel. It allows me to talk about something I'm passionate about to people who will listen, and it allows me to be creative when at times I often can't be creative with my work, etc. So it is a medium for me to do so, where I can be expressive, where I can share, where I can speak and listen, where oftentimes, in the real world, you can't, about something I'm passionate about. And one of the reasons I like this Q&A and what I like doing every week is that I like, and actually, I'm wondering, because I enjoy these Q&As so much now, and it starts, and I'm thinking, I wonder if I could do these Q&As more frequently. On the days where I don't have a specific thing planned, maybe I can do another type of Q&A or an interview or something like that. Personally, I prefer Q&As. Secondly, I like interviews where I just ask people questions, as opposed to constantly giving me my opinion and my take on sorts of things. But I definitely like Q&As, and I think that's certainly something that's helped me regarding, stress, worry, types of things, where I can just shut my mind off and just focus on something else and be creative. On top of that, exercise definitely helps. I think if for any guy who's got mental health struggles, I know a lot of men do. For me, exercise is very, very important. You've got to exercise. You've got to get out. Exercise, dieting, eating the right foods. Diet and exercise together make a massive, massive difference. Just in general, but I think make a very, very massive, massive difference. And obviously trying to keep in contact with family and friends, etc. I think it's very easy. I'm quite even though I'm an extrovert, socially I can be an introvert. I do like sometimes get tired, like my rest, etc. it's very important, I think, to maintain good relationships, friendships, etc., not to be isolated, etc. And as far as the movie comment, yeah, I think that going to movies, even though a lot of movies suck these days, but never feel afraid to go to the movies by yourself either. Going to the movies, just saying like, hey, yeah, going to movies, seeing how things are. You don't have to. Sometimes I go with my mates and friends, and it's cool. Sometimes I don't. We organize escape rooms, different things. But I also like the idea of, and there's this movie house I go to called Everyman, which is nice because it's got a nice small place where I can study and read and do a bit of work, where they can, with a nice bar, I can serve food, and then when I've done that, I can go and watch a movie. So I'm very comfortable going to watch like a movie by myself if it's something that I really want to see, instead of like waiting for people to sort of to be ready, because I'm like, I want to see it, I want to watch it, I want to know what my thoughts are about it. So yeah, those are kind of be a couple of things that I would do that help me to de-stress, de-worry, etc. Yeah, those would definitely be the things that would come to my mind. But hopefully that was useful for those that are watching. Juventus robbed many of those ties with scandals. Yes, they did. They did. They were scandals, bribery, a lot of it. You do have to look at some of those with a question mark, don't you? It is what it is, I guess. But yeah, you definitely do have to. You definitely have to look at it. You definitely have to look at it. Juve are the biggest UCL flops. Are they? I mean, it depends. I mean, if PSG don't win it this year, they're coming pretty close. Likewise with City. Because ultimately, whatever you say about Juve, we're now, City are now, we're talking about persistently Champions League. I think City and PSG, like, persistently talking Champions League from the beginning. Let's say from the beginning of the 2010s, per se. So it's just been over a decade since they've been properly heavily competing to be in the CL, and they've not got anything. So I think that if we're now getting midway through the 2020s and City and PSG still have not got a Champions League despite the billions of investment played, I think you could call them potentially flops. I think you could call them potentially flops, in my personal opinion. Favorite World Cup should add 74. Bro, favorite World Cup. Someone asked me this before, and I couldn't say. I would say not the last World Cup. Last World Cup was okay, but I would say recently, because I kind of vaguely remember 98 and 2002. I did like 2006 because of it. No offense to Italy, Roy, and the way they won it. And although 2014 was cool, the humiliation of Brazil in their home country. I know Germany loved it, or 7-1, etc. But I don't know, there was a part of me that just felt really kind of bad. There was an aftertaste of it, because it's like you don't want to be humiliated when you're hosting a world tournament. You don't want to be humiliated that bad. Like, for example, South Africa, when they hosted the World Cup there in 2010, yeah, they didn't qualify for the group stage, but when I forgot, they came third, if I recall. But when they beat France, they weren't humiliated. They held their hands up with pride, and they danced and vuvuzelas, etc. So, I would say in recent memory, 2010 was probably quite a good World Cup. Obviously Spain won it, and there was a lot of and especially in the group stages, there were a lot of interesting fallouts. So yeah, it definitely would be between 2010, South Africa, and obviously especially as well because Africa actually hosting a World Cup for once was actually quite significant. And then probably 98. So I say 2000 and then 98 would probably be the World Cups that I would go for based on recent memory. After Real Madrid, Juve is one of the teams that's posted the most finals, and they only have two. Yeah, United have more UCLs than Juventus, which is interesting. And they have the same amount of UCLs as Chelsea. Yeah. Shout out Forza Milan. Forza Milan. That's the thing. Whatever you say about Milan, Milan are the biggest club in in Europe when it comes to trophies. Let's keep it a stack. Despite what Juventus say. You ever put them into like they won 36s, but officially they have 36. Yeah, they need to relax. I need to get animations for this, guys. Let me know what. In fact, for those who are still watching, guys, and make sure you like the video if you haven't already. Please, it makes a big difference to the channel. Let me know what your thoughts are on. Let me know what your thoughts are on animations or failed animations for this channel, because I want to, much like other channels have like clips and things like that. I want to try and see how upload some clips to this. What type of clips to because for this in like say a HH channel, he'll drop a brick, for example. Like, what type of thing would you like to see in the response to that? Because I almost these days can't do justice to a comment like that. How do you lose seven UCL finals, man? I know Fergie lost 2, but at least Fergie lost 2 to prime Messi. But we've only been to I think we've been to with 5. And so so United have been to 5 UCL finals and won 3. So the one in 1967, and then the 2 obviously in 98, and then against Chelsea, and then the 2 against Barcelona. So 3 out of 5. So that's not a bad hit. Probably 60, 3 out of 5, 60, whatever. So United, if they go to UCL final, have a 65, if my maths is correct, chance of winning it. Juventus have been to, it looks a lot of finals, and it looks like the chances of winning a final are almost like less than 20%, which is mad in my opinion. RDS, I'm telling you right now, PSG is going far on UCL. They look money right now. I know SSB, but I can't count a win against Nanites as really, really good. I can't. But we'll see what happens. Maybe what happened against Real Madrid was a fluke. We will see. I still don't trust them defensively as well, if I'm perfectly honest. But we'll see what happens. The bottled DNA is strong in this one. It really, really is. But we'll see. We will see. Thanks again for those who subbed to the second channel as well. By the way, I really, really appreciate it. Would also consider throwing subs to Red Marble as well. It also motivates me to post more content on the secondary channels as well. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Before I go into your question, I'm gonna have let's have a quick look at Fabrizius. Is he posted? I know it's quite late. I was hoping to actually get Fabrizio on the channel actually at some point, but man, that guy charges a lot. Maybe when I'm earning the big bucks as a doc, I could possibly invite Fabrizio on the channel. But until then, it'll be tweets. So in the future, if you stick around, especially when I earn the big bucks, we get a lot more big personalities on the channel. Trust me. What? Wait a minute. What is right? Okay. Right. Okay. This just it. Maybe it's in the comments. I see in the comments, but let me just quickly share this Fabrizio like that I've just seen. Let me share this, man. Hopefully everyone can see this. Chelsea now considering Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as potential new striker. Wow. Discussions have already started on player side. Still no bid to Barcelona. He's one of the names in Chelsea's list after meeting Sissoko and other targets. Wow. Jeez. I don't know what to say. This transfer, this transfer window it's weird because like last year's transfer window was like crazy. It was crazy. A lot of interesting things happened. It was crazy. It was, you know, Messi going to PSG and Ronaldo there. Yeah, it was crazy. This is like last year's transfer was like you know, crazy. This is almost like trolling. It feels like clubs and managers and players are just trolling each other. This is almost like a troll transfer window, like a absolute trolling transfer window. And like something like this, it's trolling. It's got to be trolling, surely, because this is a guy who was on a lot of money. For some reason, in his last season, decided to flop at Arsenal. Barca signed him for how many? I don't think it was a lot, to be fair. Take a risk on him. Now, within the space of what, one season? Because he left in, because didn't he leave in was it January this year? It was January this year, I think. If I recall, it was January this year. He went to Barcelona. They signed him. And are you telling me that in the space of 6 months, it's like, and it says on the player's side, Aubameyang's like, yeah, no, I'm not. And I get it, maybe because Lewandowski's there, but I mean, you know, you can always play Aubameyang on the left. You can incorporate Aubameyang into a system with Lewandowski. I don't really see why that can't be a possibility. It's just mad, man. It's mad. This is banter, man. This is absolute banter. Absolute banter. I see Antonio saying that we should make a fantasy football league. Is it too late? Is it too late? Is it too late? No, it's never too late. Okay. That'll be my mission tomorrow. I will. In fact, I'll put up a poll in the chat. Do people want me to make a fantasy football league for this channel? Do people want to see a fantasy football league for this channel? And yes, if you join, if we do it, we will definitely have prizes. Definitely have prizes. So I was thinking about it. But yeah, if there's a demand, then definitely let me know. In fact, let me put it in. Let me put a poll out. Well, I know what I'll do is I'll put a poll out on the community tab after this stream. That's what I'll do. Let's have a quick look at further questions. I've been going for quite some time, actually. Let's have a look. So before I go to that, just because Ronaldo is wrong, I disagree. Okay. Artist, I'm gonna be honest, you are one of the chillest English football fans I've met. Like, I usually can't stand English fans. Oh, thank you so much, Antonio. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm a football fan first. You know, I react differently sometimes on other channels, I must confess. But on my own channel, I'm a lot more reasonable and level-headed. Because at the end of the day, like, I enjoy the game. And also, if I'm honest, I want to build I do believe that you can have differing opinions and yet have like a positive, warm community. I still think that's possible in football. I don't believe in football Twitter we have to like at people and be angry some of that. I believe that you can have a positive and warm community that can disagree. And that's why I hope to build from this, like a not interested in people who are just here to just, stir hate and just banter's fine, but just abusing people, abusing players, abusing everyone is just not the thing here. Just laid backness is what I'm at, to be honest. And to be honest, my goal, if I'm honest, would be I don't know if I could ever be a YouTuber full time. I think that would just be a bit weird. But I would love to go part time with my work potentially, and then do this YouTube, not just with this channel football, but other things more often. That would be my goal, so that I could almost split my time, and that would be nice. Pursuing your interest and all that. It'd be really, really, really nice. But yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. You'll see Atalanta, says Roy. Actually, yes, Roy is a Juve fan. Oh, Roy predicted. How did he predict Atalanta? Jeez, man. How? That's even a worse reverse jinx, because at least Juve finished top 4. He predicted Atalanta to win it, and they became 8th. That's bad, man. That's bad. Well, I'm surprised that you didn't have Atalanta fans coming at your door, buddy. Juve being Bayern in the first half and second half, De Ligt surprise hat-trick to win Bayern the UCL. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see if De Ligt does something to Juve, but we'll see. Hey G, question: is Coach still running rampant in the hospitals? How can I answer this? The infection has never really gone away. The issue with the infection was always not so much the infection itself, but the fear that you would get. So this is why I kind of try to explain to people, like, there's not that many people that case over that. It's not really about that per se. The issue was more about the fact that I'm young, it's okay, it's whoever. It's like, that's not always the issue. From a health management point of view, was that at least in the initial phase, people anticipated, and in some hospitals it was the case, that there was a lot of intensive care bed usage. And the problem would be that if suddenly you now have intensive care beds flooded with patients who have respiratory failure due to the infection, then that will cause a backlog of people who, one, have other ailments who can't be in intensive care, but two, a difficulty for hospitals to manage that. So right now, from what I can see, although the infection levels are still there, it's not affecting the intensive care as much as it was in the initial phase. However, it is summer in the UK, and everyone knows that when it comes to winter time, it always gets worse because it is a winter bug at the end of the day. If that answers your question, Roy. Can't see PSG winning this sometime soon. How do you run a club when one player has an insane contract influencing decision? Never be so new sell player power to the massive. Exactly. I could be wrong, and hopefully Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi click, but I personally just don't see how that's viable, in my personal opinion. I really don't. I just don't. Actually, no. Let me put the poll in the chat. Okay. I'll put the poll in the chat. Actually, should I start a FPL league? So simple, yes or no, and that poll is going into the chat. So cast your votes. And then if we do it, the FPL league will be on, and then we can make it competitive, and then I'll try and see if I can organize a prize for it. Maybe free merch. In fact, that's another question. Should I start a merch channel? Maybe when I get up to 10k subscribers. Who knows? Let's get. You know what would be great, guys, is if I could get to 5k subscribers by the end of the year, man. Rory, I've seen your channel grow. In fact, actually, ask me the question, Rory. Like, actually, no. I'll message you instead because I don't want YouTube to flag anything up. So to do that because it's fine. But shout out to Rossonari TV and make sure you head over and subscribe to those guys. If you could send some of those Milan watchers this way, that'd be great as well. And maybe they will when we do our Serie A preview. So because I'm hoping to do more non-United previews on this channel. I'm looking forward to doing them, especially for the big games like the Milan derby and so on and so forth. Juventus going in, so I would love to do more of those games. And also, to be honest, like, and this is just an outside to those, like, if there are people that want to make content on this channel that is non-Manchester United related, previews regarding Serie A, and want a bit more experience hosting, then please let me know. DM me, because obviously I have limited time. I know a lot of channels have different have teams. I don't really have a team right now per se. So if you're interested in becoming part of the Red Devil Studio team, and you say, for example, want to talk about other Premier League teams, other Serie A teams, or Liga teams, Bundesliga teams, etc., I can obviously provide the thumbnails, or the titles, or the rest of it. And by all means, you can come in, present, do your thing, do a preview, garner support so you can grow the channel. You know, I'm up for that. I'm up for that, bro. So, you know, hit me a DM and let me know if that's something that any of you guys would be interested in. I'm always open. Chelsea now considering PM. Yes. Fabrizio, bro. As we can see right here. Oh dear. I love that tradition from serious personal topics to Juventus scandals. Agree with you. Don't see the hype of Barca signs. Can't seem to do anything. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. You know, they're not. None of them are. You know, Lewandowski. Okay, fine. We'll see. You know, he could definitely. If he. It'd be interesting to see Lewandowski as a Benzema debate. So, but. Yeah, nothing for me screams, oh, Barcelona are now going to win the Champions League, especially because I think Xavi is still untested. What's Chelsea now? Yeah, bro. Yeah. Bamiyang. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very, very, very interesting. Oh, it got 8 votes and 8 so far, and quite a lot of you saying, quite a lot of you saying, quite a lot of you are saying it. Quite a lot of you saying it. Yeah. RDS, how much did you enjoy the second leg of Real versus City this year? I loved it. I love when those two goals came in from Rodrigo. I was like, no. I was saying no. There's no way that City, a team that spent £1 billion under Pep Guardiola to win the Champions League, is now going to bottle it at the last moment. No. And then the penalty happens, and you're like. In fact, maybe after this, I might watch the highlights again. It was so funny. It was so funny. And shout out to Real Madrid, who basically single-handedly beat. I mean, this is the thing about Real Madrid. Whatever you say about them, people like they're haters and stuff like that. At the end of the day, this run, and also I think was it 2018 when they beat Liverpool. They were champions. They beat champions. And what I know about the Champions League right now is that if you beat the champions going to the Champions League final, you are more likely to win. Okay? I think in 2018 when they went to beat Liverpool, they played PSG, Juve, Bayern, and then Liverpool. All champions. Liverpool had an easier run. Likewise, again, this final, Liverpool run to the final easy. Porto, Villarreal, Inter, I think. Real Madrid, PSG, underdogs come back and win. Chelsea, relative underdogs come back and win. City, definite underdogs come back and win. So if you have the harder run to the final, chances are you will win that final. That's been the case for me for the Champions League in probably the last maybe 5-6 years. So the harder your run to the final, the more likely you are to win the final. Is my take home from that. And Real Madrid deserved it. Everyone's saying yo to Michael in the chat. RDS, we have to do a cross-channel panel with a bunch of different people. We will put exactly. I know there's a way that you can like multi-stream to like, I think you can like add another channel. Like you could add, like if you're using StreamOn, you could add another channel to that channel, since you can multi-stream through different channels. So someone's watching on this channel, someone watching on that channel. I always think that's a good start to do that cross-platforming. The other thing as well that YouTube do, which I think I'll speak to Roy and you about, is that YouTube have this new feature now called live redirect, where basically once a stream is like, so for example, if let's say your stream is going live, and we could talk about it after this one, as soon as the stream is over, everyone watching the stream will be, I think Twitch have it as well, will be redirected over to Rossnari TV. So what I am going to try and do going forward is almost build a network, so that people share, because at the end of the day, I notice a lot of you have the similar people watching similar things, but sometimes don't get notified when things are going, etc. So I think it's quite useful that if there are a lot of people watching one stream or might be interested in watching one stream, they can move from one channel to another, and that builds the network, etc. So I think the live redirect is a really good option. I love to be able to redirect my viewers to another stream, and vice versa, obviously, so, and that, I think for me, that's especially for small YouTube channels, I think that's the best way for growth, in my personal opinion, especially when it comes to previews and stuff like that as well, so yeah, let me know if Roy, and then we can have a conversation about it, about like live redirect and how, because then you can then structure lives around it. So you go, right, I'm going live from this time to this time, and then you move it, and you share stuff. So that's one thing. How do you get on the HH panel? Is it through Discord? No. He posts the link. He posts the StreamYard link. You need to start with going to the Saturday and Sunday hangouts. So the Saturday and Sunday hangouts, because the weekday streams usually for people that are more familiar and are members usually, but the hangouts usually post the StreamYard link on Saturday and Sunday after about like 10:30, 11 o'clock, but it's quite packed. So it's basically a first come first serve basis, and it literally within the first like minute or two, the hangouts are usually packed, so StreamYard's a limit. So I would basically almost like refresh his page when it gets close, so that when it's gonna come down. English Town FC United fans are focusing on C37 and fan channel drama. It's August 22 and United have no midfielders and attackers. Well, that's basically what I said for this entire stream. They're focusing on CF and drama channels, and and Manchester United are yeah, I don't know, but I agree with you. James business as hell. If Brazil win the World Cup, then PSG can get better about seeing Neymar. It's interesting though, because Messi as well also said, see, this is where people talking about the PSG project. Oh, PSG going to win UCL. PSG going to win the UCL. If Brazil win the World Cup, do you think Neymar will give a damn about PSG? If Brazil win the World Cup, do you think Neymar will give a damn about PSG? No, he won't. Where it's coming from. Yeah, I'm sure it's coming from. So that was a sound. Neymar will not give a damn. Neymar will not give a damn. Okay, Neymar will not give a damn if Brazil win the if Brazil win if he wins the World Cup, because then suddenly it's like, listen, I've achieved what I need to achieve. I've got Champions Leagues, I've got my money, and I'm now a Brazilian legend. I'm made. I am set. Why do I I don't need it, you know. And Messi, likewise with Messi. If Messi wins the World Cup, geez, I'm good. I'm going back to Barca. I mean, he's already said in his interview about his future because Barca want to sign Messi back, and Barca probably will sign Messi back. So the future of PSG's attacking line is Neymar will be uninterested and Messi will leave, leaving Mbappe, who may also leave in 3 years' time. So interesting events. Chelsea playing for Manchester. Tad B has a lot of draft players to pick from. Let me see. Is there anything else on this deal, man? That's Alex Tellez, obviously, who I still think it should have gone. We should have had a buyback option on it. Is there anything else that Fabrizio just tweeted? Oh my goodness, man! This is Chelsea for Pierre Birmingham, man. This is brickish. This is actually brickish. Very brickish. Very brickish. So I'm going back to my computer's now on slow down now because it's probably overheating at this rate. Come on. You know what? Let's stop that for now. Okay. Yep. Guys, let's make an FPL league. Yep. I'll get that set up. If the votes, looking at the votes, the poll should still be there, I think. 13 votes, 92% say yes. So yeah, hopefully you 13 join the league, and I'll get to creating that tomorrow. So overwhelming support for the FPL league. So fair enough. Guys, you want to see Syria league as well? Yeah, post it in the link, and I'll share it. Shout out to Lucas saying, big up, man. Jeez, looking at the time these are posted, I'm probably about 20 minutes behind. Damn, Chelsea going after Arsenal's leftovers, man. It's interesting because people are cussing Arsenal for going after City's leftovers in Jesus. And obviously, Chelsea's going after Sterling. But going after Arsenal's? Wow. Yes, come onto your panel sometimes. I will try. I definitely can't stay because you guys do like 3 or 4 hour streams sometimes, and I don't mind doing them when they're like late. But a lot of times when you do the streams, you do them during the day when I'm like at work, or it's like really late at night and I'm going to bed. But I will certainly try and come on. I will certainly try and come on, you guys, especially the match reaction of some of the big games. That would be really good. Artists, I would love to host. Yes, please, because I would love to do more AC Milan and Syria content. So if you are happy to do like DM me on Weirdness, and if you're happy to do like say match previews, like live match previews, and maybe like match reactions, so then let me know, so and we can arrange something. The only thing I say is that like I need if anyone's convinced us that I need like consistency and reliability, so that when a match comes, you do it, etc. So the consistency and reliability is something that I think is very, very important. But yes, RDS, you having anyone on for Syria preview? Yeah, so right now it's Antonio and Roy. But Michael, obviously, as a good friend of mine, you are happy to join as well. That's scheduled to be on Tuesday, so it's about 7 days now. So you are more than welcome to join as well. The next week is going to be a Serie A and a La Liga. I would do the Bundesliga, but I don't know anyone right now Bundesliga wise. So if you've got anyone that maybe yourself, Michael, but yeah, I could do a Bundesliga preview, even a Ligue 1 preview, but I just need people. Oh yes, please. Can I join you for a Serie A? Yeah, Antonio. Yeah, I said that. I think I in the was it in the comment section? I said that you could join it. So yeah, um, just yeah, just DM me. Make sure that you follow me and just DM me to remind me because I'll send the link that way. Big up RDS, thank you Chainsaw for the super chat. Always really appreciate it. Man is always supporting the channel with the 1.9 super chat, man. Really appreciate it, guys. It does go into the channel. It does. I pay a lot. I pay quite a bit on graphics and cameras and different things. So it does all go back into it. I'm not running a profit on this channel, anything like that. So although I would like to, but yeah, like I said, I'd really love it. If you like the content and support the channel, consider obviously subscribing and sharing. It's the first, but also whether it's super chats or becoming a member, I'd really appreciate that. So because it does help the channel going forward. So I appreciate it. And thank you. Shout out to the members who are of the channel already: Samasi, Michael, Chainsaw, David T, Man United TV, and Niall. Shout out to my members. I'll probably put a members thing at the bottom of this. I'm gonna edit that tomorrow as well. So I appreciate that, guys. Zoinks, shout out to Zoinks, man. Hope you're doing well, man. I think we might be near the end of comments. I'll be rounding up this preview soon. We're almost 2 hours in this Q&A. Jeez, almost 2 hours. And Chelsea want Aubameyang. I don't think I even talk about. I talked about what's in the title of this again? I've been doing the talk. What is even in the title? Yeah, talk about Cucurella. Talk about Ronaldo. We talked about Ronaldo versus we talked about those things. So, but there've been a lot of other breaking news coming through. So it is what it is. Let's have a quick look. That's the problem. Welcome mid-season. Also, I know I'm a week late, but I do remember saying that Nunes would win in that prestigious community show last week. No one likes know-it-all, but yeah, fair enough. What do you think Bayern are going to do at striker, though? I've got no idea. I mean, I still think that, Ronaldo will go to Bayern, but apparently that doesn't make sense. That's what I think, but it's strange. It is what it is. Because I'm like, Chelsea need a striker, Bayern need a striker. Atletico, even to a certain extent, need a striker. Like, so many players need a striker, and they're like, no, Ronaldo. I assume it must be because of his wages, because even whatever you say about Ronaldo, he's still a goal scorer. So there you go. I'm kind of like an intern at Rosenau. I can stream on my own, but I still have to become an official host. I may become one soon. Yeah! It'd be the same like on here, like where like I initially, when I had like, for example, when someone else was on here, I would initially co-host with somebody for maybe a couple of streams, see how they are, see the response from the community, and then after like a few streams, maybe about 3, I would say, I'd then say, right, okay, I'm happy for you that you're clear with how the community works, how the tabs work, how everything works. You can now host your own show. So it could be these Serie A match previews. It could be uploading Serie A reactions or post-match reactions. It could be, it could be a Serie A league show. Something. It could be any sort of show. For me, the more content that channel produces, the faster it sort of grows. That's the YouTube algorithm. And the more varied it produces, the faster algorithm as well. That's the nature of the beast, really. I got you from Bundesliga RDS. I will DM you on Instagram. Yes, okay, cool. Bundesliga as well. For the show, I will get a Bundesliga thumbnail design, and we will sort out a Bundesliga show. And like I said, Sanjay, if you want to have Bundesliga shows, reactions like that, let me know. Just like Antonio, that's something. Chelsea's going to get Aubameyang. Big up and shout out to Luke as well. Subscribe to him. Big up RDS. Thanks, buddy, man. Best transfer this summer. I'm sure someone's asked this before. So far, I would say it's a toss-up between, for me, Basuma to Spurs. What else? Lewandowski against the Barca. I guess Mbappe resigning would be my top 3 right now. Oh yeah, so all top 4 leagues. I know about these streams when, but so I watch all top 4 leagues, so I may know about these streams when you do them. Okay, I see what you're saying. Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. Great show audience. As for you, thank you so much, guys. Remember to like the video as well. Shout out to James as well. All right, I deem you on Twitter actually. Okay, cool. Thanks so much. Okay, cool, guys. I'm gonna bounce. It's almost midnight here. Well, it's 11:30 here. There you go. You got another subscriber. Shout out to Ross TV, guys. And remember, guys, links in the description. Subscribe to my second channel, Red Devil Studio Extras, which is a clip and highlight show, as well as Red Marvel. I'd really appreciate it. Links are in the description. Check those out. But guys, thank you so much. It's been another great weekly Q&A. I always love doing these. I'll be in touch with those who want to obviously get involved in the further live streams. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Get involved. Smash that notification button in case you don't get notified when I go live. Have a nice day, guys. It's been great. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. Take care, everybody. And cheers.